Okay. Hello, I'm John. I've got this set up. Sometimes I make TikToks and I used to stream a lot. So I'm really excited to do philosophy. I took philosophy a long time ago. The first time I went to college, I went to a four-year university. I won't get into all of it. It was a long time ago. It was 2008. So refreshing that idea. And before I answer this question, something I liked about one of the readings from this week was it said philosophy is bringing back the attention to why you don't know the answer, which I like the idea of, like, instead of just, I don't know if there's no God or not, but continually going, well, why don't I know? And I like that idea because our brains, or my brain at least, wants to figure things out in pattern recognition from trauma and shit. And I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but seeing the differences in the world, seeing the differences in myself, I constantly want to know. I like talking to people, not about gas prices. I like getting down to, like, what do you believe in? And not to judge, because genuinely, everyone I've ever met deep down has their own belief. Wait, is my mic not working? Hold on. Oh, it's working. Okay. Everyone I've ever met has their own belief, even outside of whatever religion or whatever they claim. And I like hearing that because it helps me reflect my own view, or to see that everyone's very unique. Sometimes we put on fronts and like to mingle around. It's an energy drink, by the way. Um, and kind of put on a front or a group think, but everyone has their own ideas. And to answer this week's question, is change real, or is it something our minds impose on a reality that is actually fixed and permanent? And if you think change is real, what exactly is it that's changing? So this goes along with my personal belief in life. Part of it is evolution. I see it everywhere. I'm not going to trauma dump. I grew up in a bunch of really crappy religions that tainted my view on the world. And once I released myself from all of that brainwashing, I saw the world. To me, evolution's everywhere. Even something as simple in America as sports is always changing. Clothes are always changing. Food, the way we think, the way we talk. Like, I think it's good we have new lingo and we update our words regularly. I don't want to live in the 90s. I don't want to live in the past. Ever. To me, when you look open, everything changes all the time. No day to me feels the same. The sun's different. The air is different. People are a little different. And when you can get out of the pre-subscribed lifestyle you're sold that you have to live this way and buy these things, and you look around, everything's different. I don't even recognize the world I live in right now, which is good and bad. And I think something beautiful to me about evolution is there's no such thing as being bored. Because right now, some idea just spawned that we've never had before. Look how artificial intelligence has been around since like the 40s with Alan Turing. But things will make an appearance into life and to like mainstream, and then never heard of it before. I remember when VR came out, I was like, where did this come from? It's always changing. And I think people that think everything's the same are afraid of change and want to live in the past. And there's a lot of people my age, I'm 36, that wish they lived in the 90s still. I'm like, there was smoking in restaurants in the 90s. The 90s sucked. That's me, though. That's my view. And something that I've been focusing on is, rather than building safety, I never really known safety, it's building resilience. The world's always going to change. Especially now, without getting into all of it, that we know things and parameters of the world we live in. It's insane. You have to be able to adapt and be resilient and get knocked to the ground and get right back up, because there's always something. It's a storm, it's this, it's that. So my personal view to this question is, I want to touch on something, is reality. So something as a society and a world we can't agree on is what reality is. There are people who think the earth is flat, even though if you fly on a plane, you can see it's curved. Anyways, when we can agree on what reality actually is, because to me, reality is, we're on this beautiful planet. We're a bunch of hairless monkeys that are so stupid we don't think we're animals, even though we have the same things as every other animal. And we love animals. We keep them as pets. We evolved from plants. Why do you think we love plants so much? We have plants everywhere, we have gardens. But there's people that would fight me for saying that. So something I think is interesting is we don't know what reality is. And my view of reality changes based on traumas I've been through, based on drugs I've done, based on how hungry I am. Sometimes when I'm hangry, I hate everything. And then I eat, and I'm like, oh, it's not so bad. Like, this question is very tricky. because we can't define what reality is, but we can define what change is, I think. Everything's changing. How we talk, how we communicate our world, what people believe in is always changing. And for one, I'm glad change exists. The world would be so boring if everything was always the same. If everything was the same back in 1965, I don't want to live that way ever. I already don't. I was born in '89, and I don't talk about it. I'm now doing new stuff, and there's always something new to do. Look at this is new. It's a can cooler, right? It used to be koozies, and what else is new? I mean, look at this. It's a caffeine spray. There's always new stuff. There's always new things, and life would be so boring. And that's my view.